What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of NTG Builds with Tiffany. We are doing track prep. This is something I have neglected for a while. If you're new to the channel, I am NTG Build. This is Tiffany. She is a Miata cart, fully forged internals, cold side, fast forward supercharger. Lots of stuff. We run Torco inside. We're running SR5R 2050, which is amazing. We're running Torco throughout everything on this. As you can see, we love them. They love us. And we're running that in our transmission, the RGO, which is race gear oil. I'm also running that in my rear end, and it is amazing. I'll tell you the difference. Just in the smell alone is worth switching over. So when you ever have to change it out, it really smells good. I know that's silly, but it is. The other thing is, I put it in, and man, is it just so smooth. And it's got two molecules, a synthetic and a mineral. And what that is going to do is keep it from ever touching down. So you'll break through the synthetic, is a molecule of mineral of something there. I'm going to be getting told and taught a lesson on this stuff here soon. I just need to make out the time and talk to Ernie. But yeah, so we're changing out this front main seal here. After I assembled this block, I noticed when I was putting on this pulley that there was a little burr on the stub of the crankshaft. And I thought to myself, well dang, that's going to be a problem. But it already looked like this. And at that point I wanted to make it to the burn yard. So I gambled, and so far it hasn't bit me in the ass. But before I go try to link up Horse Thief Mile, which is a mile and a quarter the whole way down and back up, and I think we have the power to do it. But I know after hearing from Spike Drift and what he did to the Savage 240 was, you know, he sucked his sump dry of oil, so on and so forth. So we have our oil cooler, we have our Torco oil. We've got about an extra liter and a quarter or so in there, but that's what we're gonna do. So that's what we're doing. As you can see, I removed our front end. I have that down pretty darn good now. We just have to undo two hoses. We've got this wire bundle here, which is actually just one headlight, the fan, and a turn signal. The horn isn't hooked up right now. So on this side we've got, and then we just have the same thing, a headlight, a turn signal, and then no fans on this side. So it's pretty easy. We disconnected the oil cooler because we didn't want to break that. And boom, I am standing in the engine bay. Let me tell you, it makes it very, very nice to have this thing. I'm glad that I saw Danger Dan doing something similar to this, almost exactly the same, with the shark cart. And I might have done it just a little differently, but I did that because I'm gonna always be by myself usually doing this, whatever I'm doing, and I wanted to be able to put it on and off by myself easily. Even with my torn ligaments in the back of my hand, I was able to do it, and it really is getting annoying. But you know, I'm working on being left-handed now, so we're gonna get to it. Gonna try to make a good little video out of this for you. Yeah, let's get to it. I'm excited to shoot a video for you guys, and I think we figured out we're gonna be able to edit these quick enough. Let's go. Oh shoot. Broke that. Alright guys, so I have found that my amazing light bar that has been amazing all up until this moment isn't as amazing as it. Well, it is. It's just as amazing, but now what I should have done the first time is weld some tabs just like this down there for that. Instead I drilled and tapped. I didn't know if I was going to like that locale, so we do. Sunday Funday, day 2 of front main seal change, and I got a little tired last night. I'm not going to admit, this heat change takes about 2 weeks for me to switch my body over into heat efficiency, I guess, where I can then just go ahead and work my normal 16-hour days without worrying about the heat. But yeah, I'm also getting older and fatter and weaker and all those things, and every year I convince myself I'm not, and then convince myself that this year the summer's different. It's not, it's the same every year. But anyway, so back to it. We are gonna come in here, take off my MSD coil packs, my valve cover, then we're gonna go ahead and take off the timing cover, water pump pulley, the supercharger belt, and the main pulley. We'll have all that off. I'm gonna show you guys a trick to lock in your timing so that you don't have to worry about going back to TDC. It's a little pro tip I picked up from the Car Passion channel. Shoot, a year ago when I started doing this stuff with the Miatas. That's where I got, you know, a lot of my first jams from. Thanks, Greg. Geek, geek. But anyways, I'll show you that. Just a couple crescent wrenches and some vice grips. That'll lock in your cams where they're supposed to be, and you just count your 19 teeth afterward and everything lined back up. As long as you're still on where you were, you should be good. Alright, so it's a little bit later actually in the day. Had to go run an errand or two. But what I've done now, I've removed the supercharger belt, and that's just really quick here. You throw in your ratchet, which we provide one in the kit here. With your standard Miata, this is really helpful to have. But they provide that, so you're able to. But anyways, we used that, took it off, went ahead, took the accessory belt off, which is actually only running the water pump and the alternator. So on to the next thing is what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and pop off the coil packs, valve cover. So we're gonna get to that right now. Here we go. Obviously I have a little bit different application than you're gonna have. Once you get to about this point, everything else is gonna be the same except for my additional pulley for the supercharger. So what I've done here, I've gone and undone all the bolts, breather tube, any of the bolts that's gone through the valve cover. I've disconnected the ground that goes to one of these. I've also disconnected the ground that goes over to my coil pack so I can get, I gave it an extended length here so that when I'm working on it I can just remove it like I have these two bolts here. One of the valve cover bolts, and it can be completely up out of the way if need be. So at this point we're going to remove the valve cover, and everything, you know, except for here, this way is the same, unless your materials are made differently, like mine are forged. You might have stock, but they're still the same. And we'll point those out as we go. We still haven't done a build breakdown. But anyways, we have gotten to that point, and now I'm going to leave this to where it is now, go ahead and start taking everything else apart, and then just take it off, set it over here, and move on. So, I almost made a big mistake here, which wouldn't have been a huge thing we couldn't have figured out, but it's a lot easier to do it now. I had to find and put it to TDC, which if you see these marks, that's where this is supposed to be. Then I've removed number one spark plug, and I've gently put this giant metal piece of pry bar in there. And now with you guys here with me, I'm gonna go ahead and set this camera up. And with the 21 mil on a 1/2 inch with an extension, you're able to rock it that way. And you can see that as you rotate it, and I'm gonna set this here, and you'll see my face right behind it. What's up, dudes? So, as you can watch here, watch this. And so it's going down and up. So we want to take it to up position, TDC. Now that we found TDC, we can go ahead, remove this out of here just for safety purposes. I'm going to put the spark plug back in. I don't want anything going down there. Could we get it out? Sure, with extra effort, but we have enough to do. No sense in making more work for ourselves. So, throw that back in. I've already removed all the bolts off of the timing covers here, and I have loosened the bolts on the pulley here. I just almost removed this, which would have made finding top dead center a little bit more difficult. So we have that. Then we'll remove here. I'll show you my little trick to lock up the cams so you don't have to worry about that anymore. While you're going on, we'll release the, anyway, we'll get to that step. So let's go. All right, so Main seal update. If you can see in here, for some reason I can't get my light on my phone to work. It's gotta be because it's too hot. It won't even let it work. Yeah, what the heck? So if you look in here, if you can see, down there is completely clean, which means the main seal seems to not be leaking, which is yay. But then if you look right up in here, you can see that there's some oil. So we've had some pressurizing into the crankcase, which has been coming out the cap. So, you know, I called in the big guns. Brandon is coming over, and I'm not going to touch it until he can see it, so he can see the travel. I think we might be pushing out the cam seals when we pressurize the crankcase somehow, which is leading me to believe, if that's the case, we will have to plan for the new head, at which point we're going to go bigger valves, bigger springs, so we can wind this thing up to 8,700 RPMs. So when we do that, I'll just yank it, throw new rings in it, just refresh the block, just because we've been beating on it and we've already got it out that much. It's another 80 bucks, throw new rings, bearings will be good. We'll throw on the new head with the new cam, intake cam, and then we'll have the new springs. So we'll see. We're going to see what's up. If this is what it is, then we're going to have to deal with it, and we can't deal with that in the next 30 days, and we'll just keep going forward. Alright, let's give you a quick little update here. Turns out it was not the main seal. Oh man! Was not the main seal, it's actually this cam seal here. So I got two new cam seals. We're going to replace those. I've gone ahead and just zip tied this to keep it to there, zip tied down here to keep that there. We'll pull this off, pull these, drop it forward, yank those out. Oh my god, that hurts so bad. And then we will put it back together. We got a new valve cover, picked up some new Ultra Black. So we'll clean all this up in here, there, and here and there. Put in some new stuff, brake clean all the outside around everything off with the Torco brake clean, clean all this up, and then we'll put it back together. That's done. Alright. Dudes, dudettes, everybody who's still with us. Alright, so we've moved on from the idea of it being the front main seal. It is not the front main seal, it is the exhaust cam seal. But what we're doing right now is I'm giving you guys a little pro tip. When you are going to be changing out your cam seals, you don't want to deal with your timing a whole lot. Just want to quickly do it down and dirty. I got this from Greg Peters on Carpathian channel when I first got into Miatas a year ago. Maybe, yeah, just about a year ago, a little over a year ago. November I bought Tiffany Wrecked, and then I had to research. And anybody in the Miatas knows who that guy is, so go check him out.